This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello, friends. John Solberg here, your host for the best moments. Forgive me, got a little pneumonia going on. Still want to take a bow out. Got to do a show for you. It's important. I can get through it. I'm going to get through this ad read and introduce the show. Happy to tell you today's show is brought to you by The Butcher Shop. Purveyors of 100% Australian non-crossbred Wyvara 9 Plus briskets that are always hand-picked just for you. The Butcher Shop has been retailing the finest meats for more than 15 years. Every week, they're shipping out competition-quality meats to many of the biggest teams in the competition scene across the nation. Simply put, teams who use the Butcher Shop win, and they win often. Even if you're not a competitor, you deserve the finer cuts in life. Great news. The Butcher Shop is shipping some of the finest prime, dry-aged Australian Wagyu and Japanese Wagyu steaks to people just like you and me who aspire to be the kings and queens of the backyard. The Butcher Shop always has Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, Berkshire pork, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock. And again, it's always hand-picked just for you. Let's review all this. The best competition briskets, they got them. The best pork selection, they got that. Giving you better overall options to cook at home, they got that as well. So you need to give the Butcher Shop a call today. 850-458-8782. That's 850-458-8782. You mentioned the BBQ Central Show. They're giving you 10% off your entire order each and every time. The Butcher Shop, home of the 100% Australian non-crossbred Wyvara 9 Plus briskets. And today we're going to go back to this really weird show I found. It's like a KCBS infomercial, but there's more. I'll just let Greg get right into it here.
As promised, joining me right now, he is a member of the KCBS board that is called the Kansas City BBQ Society, and I say that for people. I know there's a majority of my listening audience that actually knows what that is, but then there is the other portion of my audience who was in the beginning stages of grilling, in the beginning stages of smoking, and they probably have no idea that the KCBS exists, so that's why we have Merle Whitebook on right now. Merle, thanks for joining me, and welcome to the BBQ Central Show.
Good evening, Greg, and good evening to all of your viewers and those who are cooking in the backyard and just starting to smoke. We want them to know that they're welcome. We hope that they'll look up Kansas City BBQ Society at kcbs.us, our website. We have cooking classes, we have certified judges classes, and there are events all over the country. Look up an event close to you and come and see what the fun's all about, and pretty soon you'll be a member and joining us.
Well, I guess this interview's over.
I was supposed to wait?
Merle, before we actually get into more of the inner workings of the KCBS, can you tell us, briefly a little bit about yourself and how you kind of became interested in the world of barbecue?
Well, at a young age, my mother and my aunt had a wedding and party business, and somehow about age 14 or 15, I was put in charge of cooking on the grills, and those were hasty bakes back then, and it was mostly grilling, not a lot of smoking, and so I was always involved in catering, and I had the fortune of being invited to be a guest judge, a celebrity judge in the town of Bixby, Oklahoma. I knew nothing about it, and they sent me about a 6-page guide to judging a KCBS contest and asking me to read it and send back an affidavit that I had read it and studied it and would abide by it. Now, I don't mean to scare anyone off because that's not the normal, but this was a unique contest. I read it and I went. My wife went to the cook-off with me, and we had the most incredible experiences and the most incredible competition food I had ever tasted. And I came out of the judging tent and looked at my wife, and I said, we have to do this. 2 weeks later, we traveled to the closest certified barbecue judging school that we could find. We became certified judges and began planning our trips and vacations to where contests were. And now I'm on the board of Kansas City Barbecue Society. I have the privilege of training certified barbecue judges all over the country, and my wife and I travel and all over the western half of the United States as contest representatives, helping organizers put on incredible events. And if we're not there, one of our many contest representatives who are trained to run our contest and sanction them will be all over the United States running about 250 or more contests this summer.
Well, that shot one of my questions in the butt, but that's good. Now, I mean, people really have no idea that, and I mean, more of the novice end, people have no idea that there's actually these type of societies, these type of associations out there, and that there's a subculture of us cue heads and grillers out there that actually go to events and become really infected and addicted to this whole lifestyle, this whole subculture.
Well, it's not only about food, it's about the families that are there and the friendships and lifelong. Once you start going to a few contests, it's very addictive, and the friendships and the knowledge and the sharing. When I run Cooks meetings, which is held at every contest, usually on Friday night if the competition's on Saturday, one of the things we do is we talk to the new cooks about mentoring, and that the experienced judges want to share their ideas and their techniques. Now, they're not going to tell you everything, but they are there, and it's part of our creed that we want to encourage cooking. We want to become America's barbecue experts, and therefore it is within what we do that we want to help bring up the backyard cook, the competition person who came out for the very first time and just wants to learn how to become a better cook. We're there for them, and we do share our experiences, and it becomes very contagious, and very soon you'll be over-involved in this sport. I also, if I may take just a second, although Kansas City Barbecue Society is, in fact, the largest sanctioning body in the United States, some of the people will attend barbecue that's put on by Memphis in May or Memphis Barbecue Network, and they will have about 40 contests across the United States. And out of Texas, IBCA, International Barbecue Cooks Association, will have about 70 contests in the United States. And each of these, while our rules are different and how we cook and prepare and turn into the judges is slightly different, all of these promote great competition barbecue and barbecue cuisine. And if you have an opportunity, please attend one of those sanctioned cook-offs.
And I'll throw in, because I'm a big Florida Barbecue Association mark, I'll throw in the FBA as well. They're another sanctioning body that's growing that, does their own thing. They're completely separate from all the aforementioned that you said. But again, competition barbecue, and again, another sanctioning body that's growing from Florida into the surrounding states.
You're very correct on that, and we welcome anything that helps promote barbecue as a sport is good for all of us.
So we've mentioned KCBS here, a handful of times already. Can you give us a little background about Kansas City Barbecue Society, how long it's been around, and why it was started?
You want to go find out what Merle Whitebook has to say, because it just keeps getting better and better. And then he talks about his wife who was elected to the board, and how the board and members are trying to oust his wife who was elected to the board, and just a little microcosm of how sometimes things don't really change. Even the more they change, the more they stay the same. This could be a whole mini-series. I'm still thinking about doing it. But I encourage you to go back to the link in today's show notes, listen to the rest of this episode, let me know what you think. And until next time, thanks for listening through my sickness. Didn't want to let you down. And until next time, on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.